For people just listening, you only need to see the first 90 seconds of this video.
Never be the same. Remember this video from Computex where Jensen Huang showed off a groundbreaking AI character that generates unique dialogue in real time? All right, so let's put Chet in and see how he does when we have conversations with him. Now, when I put Chet in, the character is not actually going to change. It's just going to use his voice and any sort of training that we gave to Chet. So he's going to look like the same character, but now he's going to have a different voice, and it's going to be the personality of Chet. Hey, Chet, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food. That's an easy one. Tacos, of course. I grew up eating tacos and they have a special place in my heart.
So let's say I had a 3D character already created. I want to attach this personality, this memory, all this stuff to him. Like, what's the process? How would I actually take my character and attach this voice to the character in something like Unreal Engine?
Main thing is the character ID. So if you take this character ID with you, you can actually put it inside Unreal Engine with our plugin, and that's it. Basically, it's super simple. If you have the character to the point where you want to connect it with your assets, it's basically like a 5-minute max work. You install our plugin, then you just add the character ID, and that's it. The character is alive now. That's where we are focused. Like, how can we create the most easiest to use AI NPC platform?
Most of it you can get in and play with right now, right? It's all publicly accessible. I mean, some of the features you showed are stuff that's in the works, right? You said there's a free trial of it?
Yeah, a lot of free trial, basically. I mean, you can use it for free pretty much forever. You can make a game out of it and share it without spending $1. So we are making the price point so low so that people can start making things out of it.
Hey guys, it's Matt. That was taken from the Matt Wolf YouTube channel. He puts out videos during the week about AI updates and technology. There's always one video every week where he is so blown away by the rate of advancement and what's coming. So this guy does this for a living, and he has at 300,000 some subs. He has connections directly to the CEOs of some of these companies. And even he is legitimately, this guy is, it's not a fake, he's legitimately blown away at the rate of advancement week after week. He's not even getting habituated to it yet, and he does this for a living. So this rate of AI advancement, to me, is, I'll just call it a reality giveaway. It's not a reality breakdown, it's a reality giveaway. There's a difference. We can learn something from it in terms of understanding our adversary and what the reality is out to do to, in this case, not the individual, but the collective society, which will suck in the individual. The movie Ready Player One, which was directed and produced, I believe, by Steven Spielberg, came out in the beginning part, the first quarter of 2018. And for those that haven't seen it, 30 seconds or less, this massive immersive environment, you put your headset on, and you are literally immersed in this universe called the Oasis, where everything interacts. Millions of people, or hundreds of millions of people around the world, all players, interact with each other. So it's like combining every video game that exists today all into one. And today the technology exists where there has to be individual video games in isolation. This Oasis, everything was combined into one. So in 2018, two people could have been walking out of the movie theater after seeing Ready Player One. The first person, just some regular Joe off the street. Say, how many years before that's available, what you just saw on that screen is in real life? Oh gosh, 20, 25 years, and we're not even close to that. Now, you could talk to somebody that works in Silicon Valley who just walked out of the theater and saw the movie, but maybe not in the AI space. Of course, these few in the AI space probably knew what was coming, of course, in 2018. Maybe that was one of the reasons for the release of Ready Player One. But just somebody in the tech industry, how many years away? They would say, oh, we're 15 years away from that. Well, Ready Player One basically, in a rudimentary sense, already exists today, or it's so close. Not where everybody around the world is playing on the same platform, where you walk around the corner and you meet another player who's actually playing in Beijing, China, or in Sydney, Australia, or in Tokyo, Japan. It's not all combined into one yet, but the elements are all there. They are actually, especially with this release of the Apple headset, the VR glasses, is it called Oculus? The components literally for the movie Ready Player One are there. Now, rudimentary. It's not going to be like the movie, of course, where you just completely believe you're in another universe. But what's shown, it's not 15 years away. Ready Player One is literally like 3 to 5 years away. And the components exist today. It's unbelievable. I just took a minute to go out to the Wikipedia page for Ready Player One, and researchers like Jeff will tell you that. Do you think there were strange numbers and gematria and connections and things started showing up? Yeah, it wasn't overflowing, but I didn't even read the page carefully. Just popped right into my face. Ready Player One release date, 2 different release dates, so they can work their gematria and their creepy ways into 2 different dates. The first one, it's 2018 release. It's March 11th. 20, here it comes again. It's 3/11/33. Oh no. Here it comes again. What's the other release date, Matt? Certainly there isn't a similar type coding. I think so. March, the other release to the general United States. One was a pre-release, so they could work in that creepy gematria. And then this is a general release. A general release. It's like a bright boy alert. March 29th, 2018. So the 2018, the year combines into 11. March, forget the month for now, 29th, 2-9, and then the year makes, if you combine the numbers in the year, it makes 11. 2-9 bot. 11. Oh no. Somebody that clicked on this video instead of their cat video is saying, "What? This person has to be insane." Honey, this person's implying that the movie Ready Player One had 2 different release dates. They broke up the release simply to have a certain number, if I'm interpreting this lunatic correctly, a certain type of number in the date. Yeah, now I could be wrong in this case, but this is typically how they work. The creeps love this sort of creepy horse shit. Now, the first principle in the Kybalion, we looked at that a few months back, is all is mind. And that relates to why the movie came out when it did, Ready Player One, Steven Spielberg, all is mind. Getting a collective consciousness, hundreds of millions of people around the world thinking, creative beings to think this is coming. Maybe not as soon as they expected, but all these generator beings start thinking, okay, this is someday what we will experience. As they walked out of the theater, everyone said we'll have this someday. It's just a matter of time. So again, Kybalion Principle 1, all is mind. The creeps know how reality works. The creative generator beings influence reality, influence at a minimum. So that's, again, Kybalion was that Hermes Trismegistus. I still can't pronounce it. I don't care to. Hermes, what is that? It means Hermes thrice great. What is that? Hermes thrice great for what? So I knew what thrice is, guys, basically, but just to make sure. That means 3. Hermes 3 times great. For what? I had a girlfriend say that to me one time in college. You were thrice great last night. I didn't know what the hell she was talking about. I never was able to repeat that act. Maybe 2 times great in my 30s, and then just 1 after that. At one time in my life, I was thrice great, and I didn't even know what the compliment meant when I got it. So this is what Hermes put out. Again, people got on me last time. Matt, you're reading that satanic text or whatever. Like I said a million times, I will go listen to anyone. I'll read anything if somebody recommends it. I don't just classify something as evil. Oh, I can't touch that. Or if it can provide some information, I'll take away what resonates with me, and I'll leave the rest behind. Like I said, if Satan was speaking in the park, I'd go listen. I think he is speaking. There's a podium set up under the I-95 bridge. He's in charge of the construction crew for putting it back together. That's why it's going to take so damn long. I'd go down there and listen. Take away what I think is truth, and I would know real beings like us understand the deception. We can filter through the deception at this point. So don't tell me the Kybalion is evil. I don't care what it is. The first principle is accurate. All is mind. Consciousness first, and coming from, Big Bang by way of a monkey man. All is mind. That is absolutely correct. I don't care if that's at the bottom of a Cracker Jack box or from the Kybalion. So why do you, in 2018, we want hundreds of millions of people, or how many rentals and DVD sales or whatever, how many, maybe close to 1 billion people eventually saw a part of Ready Player One, maybe even as they flipped by a channel. But then billions of creative people start thinking that this is coming. Matt, you're not saying that was why the AI, not by itself, no. But is that a small factor in hundreds of millions or 1 billion people believing that this is someday coming, this oasis a virtual environment from Ready Player One. Is that a factor in how quickly the AI is propagating itself today? I believe it is, because I believe all is mind. Real quick, back to Hermes Trismegistus. Trismegistus. I'm just going to call him Hermes TM. I'm sorry. He's rolling around. Now, guys, I want to mention one thing. This is no genius revelation, but you've noticed this. All these gods all like relate back into each other. It's like the same thing. You know, it always like, okay, here we are. Hermes in some ways is presented as a historical character of some kind, almost like a man or a magician, but then it relates to the Egyptian god. Is it Thoth, Thoth, whatever? People get on me. Oh, he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know how to pronounce the Egyptian pantheon of gods. Well, I don't care to. Who cares? But it relates also to the Greek god Hermes. So it's all the same thing. This happens all the time. I mean, the most obvious example we know of is, okay, Zeus is Jupiter in the Roman. In the story of Prometheus, who brought the humans fire, but that's like the light bringer. Is that Satan, the light bringer, the same as Prometheus? And then what's the golden figure? They put a mask on that golden figure in Rockefeller Plaza above the skating rink. That's Prometheus, but everybody knows that's Lucifer. What's the same thing? Is it Apollo? It's all. I mean, all these different gods and all these different pantheons of gods all around the world. It like you can reduce a number down like gematria. You can reduce it down to like 3 gods and probably then reduce that down to 1 or something. Who knows? But this happens again with Hermes and Thoth and the Hoth planet and Hermes of the Greek god. I guess what I'm saying is I'm really straying here, but to study like each god in the myth of each pantheon separately, I think is ridiculous, because there's absolutely a relationship where they all combine into the same. Yeah, Matt, it's all Lucifer. Maybe, I don't know. I don't care. So getting back to the main topic of this video, sorry for straying, and some of the things I showed you coming in, it exists today that basically somebody in their bedroom can create a video game. Now, you have to kind of know what you're doing, but you don't need to be a big video game studio, like the way they presented Mark Zuckerberg in Harvard just walking around in his flip-flops. And some kid like that easily today can produce his or her own video game. And very easily it will be able to be done 6 months from now. Now, this is what they want, because they're giving all these tools away for free. Everything across the board is free or a very minor, we have to make it look legitimate, so it's $8 a month. That's basically free for getting tools that 20 years ago to create what could be created on these fake tools. No, these free tools. It is a digital world, Matt, so it is fake. That was a Freudian slip. 20 years ago, it would cost you have to get a team together, supercomputers. It'd cost you $10 million to do what some kid can do on a free tool today in 10 minutes in his bedroom. So it will be very easy for almost any kid that knows a little bit about computers 6 months to a year from now to create their own video games. So it's like they want thousands and thousands of these little creative projects to start happening. Maybe some way they will tie them all together into like the Oasis from Ready Player One. But let's just look at the individual elements. It's just a small piece of what I showed you coming in. So, of course, the gaming engine of today, and guys, let me pause for a second. Ultimately, what is the Notnilc strategy? Let's not forget why this channel exists. The strategy is to hide a human being from understanding itself. But the tactic right now is to move the human being into the digital world, into the immersive digital environment, which hides and supports the strategy of hiding a real person's spiritual nature. Same 2 sentences. Sorry. So, in each component of what it takes to make a video game, of course, the main engine today is called, everybody's heard of it, Unreal Engine. And of course, what a coincidence. Instead of wanting to hold on to something proprietary, isn't it just about making money? I mean, what did they say in that one of the opening scenes of Risky Business with Tom Cruise? What do you want to do? Make money. Doesn't anybody here want to not make? And then Tom Cruise says, want to help my fellow man. They throw fries and chips at him and shit. We've always just about making money. So the Unreal Engine, of course, says, oh, anybody out there that wants to dabble in making video game characters, and we'll make our Unreal Engine for video games just open. Not open source, but open so you can make your characters and do what you want in your bedroom if you're Mark Zuckerberg walking around in flip-flops and at Harvard. Just kids dabbling in their bedrooms. The characters they create, like I showed you coming in, they can easily be put into this Unreal Engine. Now, I don't understand the ABCs of it, but people can make their own video games. And then, of course, whatever is behind these large language models, the AI that can just talk back and chat, and people, I guess, are still doing it by typing, but I'm sure it exists now or it'll exist in just a few months. You'll just talk into your microphone. The Chad, I'm going to get it right this time, Chad. I'm sorry for being so disrespectful. Chat GPT. I got it. GPT. Ask for a better name like the Bard. It'll just talk back to you. There's no reason to type, and it types back. So these video games are already being developed where there are no longer NPCs where they just run a script. Hello, travelers, the same script. I see, that's all there was in the past. Now the NPCs have the large language models and the Chad behind them. So you could say, hey, who dressed you in the morning? And the NPC will talk back and say, well, I'm the key maker. Why are you asking me about how I'm dressed? It'll be completely, in a way, it'll seem sentient. So what I showed you coming in, whoever created this character in this little game environment loaded the character up with, they're an expert on tacos, and their whole backstory is about tacos. That was loaded, or that information about creating a backstory was sent to the Chad, the AI, which is the large language model, and the large language model drives the personality and the knowledge base of the NPCs that are encountered in the games. Well, of course, the voice will be changeable, the appearance, it's all literally kids in their dorm rooms today can make video games, put it all in the Unreal Engine, and if it's not ridiculously easy for that class of kid to do today, a year from now, almost anybody can do it. So obviously, this Notnilc, they don't just give away for everything for free. There's always an underlying strategy or creepy tactics that, we're just crazy. We're just one of those people Matt, you're always looking at the sinister side. So my friend Tony and your friends just think, well, it makes perfect sense that hundreds of businesses that would invest combined hundreds of billions of dollars would just give everything away for free. But then they'll turn around a second later and say Star Wars it was just a cash grab. And they re-released and they didn't put good effort into Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they didn't put any effort into the Book of Boba Fett. It's just a cash grab because it's all about money. Well, if it's all about, that's what they run their scripts on over here, your friends and family. If it's all about money, why are all these AI companies giving everything away for free? I don't know. It doesn't matter. They'll run some script and be the palace guard, and you won't be able to get through to them anyway. So what's the point? But it's all given away for free because the next phase is they want, I don't know. They want tens of thousands of small individual game designers and character designers, and who knows where this will go. But you think the video game industry? Well, again, I can't think of that as separate. To me, it's all at one Notnilc table at this point. And the video game industry is upset, and they raise their hand and say, if you allow all of these kids in their dorm rooms to start developing video games, I don't even know if does EA, is it still around that does the Madden? I don't know. They say, well, you're going to put us out of business. And then the creepy Notnilc representative says, no, you'll be taken care of. You're at this table with us. We won here. We're one. We're going to be as one. You're going to be taken care of. Don't you worry about losing. We might even have to create a backstory that it puts you out of business, and you all have to pretend you're unemployed. But the executive staff will take care of you. Don't you worry. Those vacations will keep on coming and coming. Your Pacific princess is waiting. There's nobody. The top executives will lose. Yeah, EA maybe will go out of business. EA Sports, EA Electronic Arts is what it is. And then there will be 10,000 people on the street, but the management will be taken care of. Of course, by the Notnilc, and the rich will get richer, and the poor will sell pencils. So, of course, you can see what they're doing. Get these tools into the hands of as many, quote, creator beings as possible, And somehow, maybe they have a way to, well, they have a way to camp on the great ideas of whatever anybody produces. They're watching what everybody produces. They're giving it all away for free. Maybe they have the idea of combining everything into a gigantic oasis like Ready Player One or like World of Warcraft setting. But the ideas of all these different video games in one, like eventually I would think they want the oasis, the full immersion environment. And even in the oasis, you could play games and video games inside the oasis. You could go off and hunt this or shoot these aliens, and you could go play games inside the oasis itself. It's segmentation and smaller Russian nesting dolls. So I guess what they figure is once they get people inside that digital environment, they've got you. And it will be, and that it just, as we talk about this more and more, it does seem like the planned obsolescence and self-destruction, intentional self-destruction and implosion of the 2D movie screen. The tactic in the spiritual battle taking place here is as you move a real, what they call human, into the digital environment, into the immersive environment with the headset, which will come before the brain chip, that moves somebody away from spiritual self. Notnilc wins the game. And real close to checkmate when they get people fully immersed in the oasis. And then they'll come along and say, we can make this oasis that, remember, even in the movie, the kid put the headset on and he walked on a treadmill. We can make the oasis full-time and real. Just take this little tiny chip up your nose. Then though that will be, then that is checkmate for people. So we've talked recently a lot about the bad movies, of course, made bad on purpose, but all the different strategies, Notnilc strategies, we can kind of see them all kind of coming together here. So, of course, we know movies made bad on purpose for 15 years. Now we understand because they don't want people interested in this 2D screen. That's, to them, they knew that was out 20 years ago. We're just starting to understand this now. They want the whole 2D movie experience gone. That's nothing compared to the immersive environments of the headset, the Oasis, the brain chip. So they want people to hate the 2D movie experience. Look what they're doing to Indiana Jones now, the Little Mermaid, the ruination of Peter Pan. People are so desperate for their escapism as they bring in more and more hell, introduce more and more hell into the world. The billboards around New York City on June 6th, 6/6, it said the introduction of the Diablo video game, welcome to hell. And that was when the start of the smoke started to pour down from, by the way, we had a reverse wind direction and no more smoke here at all. The skies have been very, very nice and clear for 3 days. But it was, for 2 days, it was like hell, like literally like a thick smoke. I don't want to say sulfur smell, but that is what it felt like. And then the Diablo billboards all over New York City, when the smoke was pouring in and there's just a orangey red hue over the entire city, and you couldn't even see the top of the Empire State Building from standing on the ground. It says all over the city, welcome to hell. It's just another small factor that supports what I was talking about, Notnilc weather reports, Notnilc weather systems. It kind of supports the notion that maybe we're not as crazy in thinking that was like, Matt, it was just a confluence of coincidences. Say that 3 times fast. It came down from Canada and oh yeah, sure. Okay, well, we already talked about that. But I think that if I was 99% sure, I think I'm now 100% sure when I've been informed that the welcome to hell signs, which was, Matt, you read into everything, you types of people. It was just happened to be the introduction of the Diablo video game. Diablo means devil, Matt, if you didn't know that. And it just was a coincidence that the air quality in New York on 6/6 and 6/7 was basically the exact same as the first level of hell that was that Dante visited with his guide Virgil. The Alighieri, Dante's Inferno. It was the same air quality from what Dante would experience when he went in to rescue his girl from hell with his guide Virgil. It was exactly what was in New York City with all these signs, welcome to hell. But we're just one of those people. So the tactic at this point seems pretty clear. People will be so desperate to get their entertainment back because, again, the world is getting more and more hellish for everybody, even those that are the palace guard, and they still don't like the world. I mean, I have family members that like, nothing works anymore. My ice maker on my fridge is broke 3 times. And what's going to go wrong next? And I called customer service. Everybody sees the world sliding and they will be just desperate for their entertainment. And they'll be so turned off that they'll think, and they'll be convinced, rightly so, that movies, that 2D screen, just they can't do it anymore. They just now maybe they will do an AI movie. But Matt, you said the first AI movie will be great. This could still be used to play into it. They could do the AI movie and show how great the AI produced movie. You don't need these writers and these real actors anymore. But then they'll say, if you want more of this, the AI they showed you how great the first 2D movie is from AI, then go into the immersive environment, go into the headset, go into the Oasis. This is where all the great AI content, and maybe they will do a deal with the writers, and they say the actors are going to go on strike, believe it or not, a few weeks from now, potentially, with Fran Dresser, I found out, the nanny. I swear that's the girl that probably asked about the happy hour when we went to Long Beach Island. It might have been Fran Dresser. It was like her nieces or something. She's the head of the actors union, and they are going to go on strike potentially in a few weeks. I mean, that's what they're floating now. Probably not, but okay, maybe. See, that's the thing. Maybe this strategy is kind of becoming clearer. Either that, Matt, or you're becoming more and more insane. Either one. So you actually give the writers protections about AI potentially, and you give the writers a lot of what they want. Maybe this will be the story. And then again, the movies will be lame. It'll be more Thor Ragnarok and making ridiculous jokes using the Incredible Hulk when the fans of the Incredible Hulk want the evil, rage, angry character. They're making a joke of Incredible Hulk just sits around and smiles and tells jokes. No fan wants that. So people will be like, these writers, they just got this long-term contract. And this seems to be, right now, this seems to be the most logical interpretation of the strategy, guys. And it'll just be more and more shit on the screen. And theaters will all collapse. And then there'll be this light at the end of the tunnel, the immersive headset, Oasis environment, video games. They will want everybody to leapfrog, and they say these writers, and it's more woke, and it's more SJW, and it'll be more the same until everybody, even old grandma and grandpa, said, I can't take it anymore. There's not even a good movie on TV. What's that thing you got there, sonny boy? It's a headset, grandma. You want to jack in? You want to put it on? Give it to me, because I'm so fed up with, there hasn't been a good movie in 20 years. Give me that damn headset. And then when they want people to go to the headset, folks, and the immersive environment, they are evil. This Notnilc is evil genius in the extreme. At the top of the chart in terms of, on one axis, fed up with movies, fed up with writers, fed up with woke themes. It'll be at the absolute apex or pinnacle. And that will be it will be the same time they'll be completely ready to go in terms of incredible fantasy immersive environments, and it will be we have to be honest, it will be I won't probably ever put the headset on, but it will be incredible entertainment. Okay, we wouldn't lie to ourselves. When they're ready to get everybody to go into the headset and completely walk away from the 2D movie screen, it will be incredible entertainment. To say anything else is lying to yourself. You can choose not to do it, or you can choose to do it. But it will be fun, and it will be incredible. And then that's it. It is the end of the 2D flat screen movie experience. What do you think? I'll look to your comments.